morning, everybody. It's good to see everybody enjoying some time to fellowship.
Everybody doing okay this morning? Uh, it was brought to the men's attention this morning that we have an urgent need in our community. One of our own, Brother Gary, is back in the hospital this morning, and there's some financial need there, and we want to take up a love offering for Brother Gary this morning. So just dig deep. Get your checkbook out. Don't give the Lord's tithe, but give an offering, and it'll come back to you. It will come back to you. I don't know. I've known Gary my whole life. When the old church was still standing down here, I have been in the parking lot of the church on a weekday. Gary would be in there on the floor, laying down on his stomach, praying, and you could hear him from the outside of the church. And that multiple times, And when he was able to get around, he was at the new church down here some too, praying. Yeah. That's right.
And y'all, even more than that, he wanted a list of the names of the young people that had been through these doors, and he would let me update it every once in a while. He wants that so that he can call them by name, even at home. He has their names on the list. He's a praying man.
We're gonna, just so everybody, knows what's going on, we're gonna give him the love offering, and then we're gonna also give him the benevolence allotment, as well. And, you know, anything extra that you'd like to give, we're gonna take that, and maybe we do it again next Sunday as well. So, Ms. Marcus, would you play just a little something? We won't sing, but we'll just play a little something, and if our ushers would come up, let's see, Uncle David stepped out. So Brantley, you come up here. Yes, ma'am, just make it out to the church, and this first one, we'll just set it to the side, and, we'll count it separately. Okay. 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 All right. You guys can go ahead.
And it's important your life lines up with the Word of God. Because you are setting the tone for the rest of the church. Because not all are called to be leaders. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're not all called to be leaders, but some are. And as leaders, you have a responsibility to set the tone. You see in the workplace all the time that however the boss is, it's going to trickle down into the rest of the workplace. Because I've worked for some bad bosses. And I've seen how this affects the whole company. And I've worked for some really good ones. I work for a really good one right now. And you see how it trickles down from the top down. Same thing in our churches. Leaders, if we don't lead well, if we don't hold ourselves to our high standard, it leaks into the rest of the church. It leaks into the ones who have not been called to lead. Because as I went through that quote, I just kept getting hit by how true it is. Because we can be a busy church, can't we? It could be a church full of programs, full of different activities going on. But if God is not in it, what good is the busyness? And that's something I've seen leaders miss time and time again. We'll get busy in churches with all kind of programs. And people think they're doing well spiritually because, hey, I'm always active at church. I'm always doing this program. I'm involved in this. I'm involved in that. And sometimes the leadership get caught up in all the statistics, the planning of the events. That I was going to struggle with that word. That we forget the discipleship. The business is not necessarily going to stay with people through the rest of their lives. But the biblical principles you instill is what sticks with them. So if we don't have leadership to instill those principles, what good are programs? Besides taking up time, besides making us run. What good are our churches if they're friendly, if it's not being led by God with godly leaders? And let's just be honest. You can go anywhere to meet friendly people. You can go to a bar and meet friendly people, can't you? If we are a church without God, people would leave here just as, in the same state as they would have left a bar, being around friendly folks. Laughing, encouraged, having a good time. If God wasn't in it, what good did it do for them to come? What good is if every single one of us greeted them as they walked in the door, but we do not have God in it? What good is it? God must be in it. God must be present. So like we can go anywhere to be friendly, but let our friendship be rooted in God. Amen. And he went on to say, even an evangelistic church, we can go tell people about God. We can go tell people John 3:16 and invite them to church. Get them here. But if we failed them in spiritual leadership, what good was it getting them here? besides to get a check mark off the list. I tell people all the time, getting people baptized is the easy part. Getting them discipled is the tough part. That's when you start getting in the message. That's when you're in it for the long run. And evangelism's tough. Discipleship's